Hello, welcome back. Now, as you know, we're going into step 10, and I'm so glad that you're still with us. We're making our way through, and I hope it's giving some clarity to the 12 steps. Step 10, as you know, says that we continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Promptly admitted it. You know, one of the things that I've learned since coming into a 12-step program is the fact that the addiction never was my primary problem. The addiction never really was my problem. The addiction was a symptom of my problem. You see, if a person goes to the doctor with a headache every week, they have a headache. The headache is not their problem. A tumor may be their problem. An allergy may be their problem. I mean, there are numerous things that could be the problem. The headache is really notifying them of the problem. Pain is a great gift from God. So the pain itself notifies us of the fact that we are hurt, that we have a problem. People who don't have pain can die without even knowing they're dead. That's just a little joke. But what I'm saying is that the pain, if you burn your hand and you don't have any nerve endings in it, then you won't even know you're burning it. God has given us the gift of pain. And pain itself is just a symptom of the problem. The problem is much deeper. Well, I found out that in addiction is a symptom of the problem. The real problem is our disconnection from other people and our disconnection from our higher power and the hole that's in our soul. You see, we have a hole in our soul that only the higher power can fill. The higher power has given us a vacuum that only the higher power can fill. And that's our problem, I believe, as human beings. And we break out with symptoms in our addiction: alcohol, drugs, sexaholism, overeating, all kinds of symptoms of the number one problem. And so it's just a symptom of our problem. When we get into step 10, we're at the point now that we know that more is wrong with us than the fact that we drank or smoked dope. Now we understand that there are some underlying issues and that they will need to be looked at on a continual basis. And so step 10 says we continued to take personal inventory. You see, recovery is a lifelong journey. Spirituality is a lifelong journey. It's something we do for the rest of our life. We continue to take personal inventory, and when wrong, we admitted it. Many people have little sheets that they use to take personal inventory every day. They look at it and say, where have I been unkind today? Where have I been impatient today? Where have I stretched the truth today, spoken in hyperbole? Where have I been selfish today? Where was I not a listener today when a person needed a shoulder to cry on? They go through their inventory every day. They take a personal inventory. You may want something that formal. I suggest it. I'm sure it's very helpful. Other people don't do it in such a formal way, but they recognize, again, from their feelings when they need to do something about their situation. Alcoholics and addicts have found that some of the feelings that cause us great problems, underlying issues that we may have, is self-pity. Somebody said, pour me a drink. Addicts and alcoholics tend to go into self-pity quite quickly, and that can be a road to relapse. So as we take our inventory, we watch out for self-pity. When am I thinking that everybody's against me and I'm victimized and I'm being put down and I should have more than I have today and I should be further along than I am now? Self-pity rather than gratitude. Self-pity can be a big problem. The big book of Alcoholics Anonymous talks about resentment. It says resentment is the number one offender. Resentment has caused numerous people to relapse and to begin addictive behavior again. Resentment is dangerous for addicts. The big book says it's the dubious luxury of other people. Dubious means a questionable luxury, but it's not a luxury that I can stand, and perhaps you may not be able to stand. Resentment has caused many people to relapse. So as you do your inventory, you will be looking for things like self-pity and resentment and anger, lust. Nobody can tell you how or be an arbiter of your sexual behavior. You have to deal with your sexual behavior with your higher power, your own morals, your own beliefs, your own values. But sex has caused a lot of people to relapse in the way they think about it and the way they deal with it. Some people don't even think they can have sex in the right way unless they high. Some people can't have sex in the way they used to have sex because they were selfishly having sex and didn't really care about the other person. The person was just an object. So that's something that maybe you may have to deal with as you take your personal inventory. It's a personal inventory. And you will see patterns again as you look back on your fourth step. You will see certain patterns in your life, certain things in your steps that you need to work on and watch out for. Continue to take personal inventory, and when wrong, promptly admitted it. And the reason for promptly admitting it is because those very things can cause us to get into insane thinking again. And the insane thinking sooner or later is going to trigger that little thing in our head and say, oh, I think I can just do this one time. I think I can take just one. We have found that self-pity, resentment, hatred, anger, selfishness is the root of our problem. So if we're not involved in, as they say, giving it away to keep it or helping other people, then once again, we may be isolating and find ourselves headed towards relapse. To continually take a personal inventory is very important. Some people say they go back and take all their steps over and over and over. That may be beneficial, but we're talking about this is a maintenance step. A maintenance step. Some people say, well, how long you got to go to those meetings? Well, how long do you have to eat? You ate yesterday. You want to eat today, don't you? How long do you have to pray? How long do you have to pray? I mean, some things you have to do continually. It's a maintenance step. And spirituality just seems to be one of those things you can't get one time and hold on to it. You know, spirituality is not static. Spirituality is not something that now I'm a spiritual giant and I'll always be a spiritual giant. I mean, even if you look back in the big book or some other spiritual literature, you'll see that giants had problems. Muhammad had some problems. Okay? David had some serious lust issues and murdered somebody. Moses had a problem with anger. Okay? You see those problems. Abraham had a problem with lying. Okay, you see those problems with the so-called giants of spirituality. Don't you think you and I may have a couple of little things to work on? And so we continually take a personal inventory because we need to promptly admit some things when we do wrong. It makes for a better family life. It makes for better employment life. It makes for a better conscience. And we want a clear conscience so that we have a clear channel with our higher power. So we promptly admit it. Other people might go around and they can have a resentment for a month, 2 months, or a year. They may enjoy the so-called power they feel holding on to that resentment. But for me, that's a dubious luxury. The resentment may cause me to actually end up dead or in jail or in some institution. Excuse me? You want a resentment? Here, take it. You can have mine. I don't want it no more. Here, take it. Take the resentment, take the self-pity, take the lying, take the impatientness, take it all. Go ahead, take it. You can have it. As I take my inventory every day, I'm going to offer it up to my higher power. And every day when I need to promptly admit it, I'm going to do it because I enjoy this life of sobriety that I have today. Thank you very much.